The combination of these two companies is really going to create a leading precious metal development and exploration company with a fantastic building block with benchmarks 3.5 million ounces. What Ranch brings to that is very near surface high grade mineralization and a lot of blue sky and those exploration targets.
Hi and welcome to the Assay TV. We're very pleased to be joined today by Thesis Gold. So I'd like to introduce Ewan Webster, Chief Executive Officer at Thesis Gold. Thanks so much for joining us today, Ewan. It's great to have you here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So first of all, congratulations on your recent merger announcement with Benchmark Metals. That's very exciting.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I think it's going to be transformative. You know, we're really creating a leading precious metals development and exploration project here.
Amazing. So can you tell us a bit about the Thesis Ranch project and Benchmark's Lawyers project?
Yeah, sure. So for anybody that's unfamiliar with both of them, they're located and actually adjacent projects in north central British Columbia in the Toodoggone mining district. So it's actually a fantastic part of BC to be operating in. It is, both projects are completely road accessible, very favourable topography, rolling hills rather than the kind of rugged terrain of coastal British Columbia that most people are familiar with. So you can really operate cost effectively year round. And the combined land position of both projects is now about 325 square kilometres. The Ranch project itself, you know, we acquired 100% interest in that in late 2020, and we've been aggressively moving that forward. Over the 2 years, we've completed just under 50,000 metres of drilling with some phenomenal results, including 34 metres of just under 20 grams gold from the Bonanza zone, which is one of many deposits on the project. And collectively now, we've got mineralised strike extent over a number of kilometres. We've also made a number of new discoveries on the project in those 2 years, and we've got about 20 plus drill ready targets that really share all the same geochemical and geophysical characteristics as known zones of mineralization. So a lot of blue sky potential there. We've also completed early metallurgical work on the project where we're getting between 90 to 98% gold recovery. So certainly de-risked the project a lot. I think that's a pretty good overview of just the Ranch project. And then just to the south, about 15 kilometres is Benchmark's, the kind of core of their deposit. They acquired the project in 2018 and kind of similarly have moved it forward very quickly. They've defined a 3.5 million ounce gold silver epithermal low sulfidation deposit. And last year they put out maiden PEA on the project with some very robust economics and around a 12-year mine life.
Great. So can you talk us through the details of the merger?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to be a very transformative merger for both companies. Benchmark Metals essentially acquiring all of the issued and outstanding shares of Thesis Gold, and for every Thesis share held, we will be issued 2.5584 shares of Benchmark Metals, which will essentially give us in the pro forma company will be 60% controlled by Benchmark and 40% by Thesis Gold. And after the transaction closes, there will be a 2.6-to-1 consolidation of that company, and it will leave us with about 161 million shares outstanding. As I said, that'll be a 60-40 split. On the Thesis end of things, if you are currently a Thesis shareholder, you will retain basically all the shares that you currently have. So the rollback is effectively just happening on the Benchmark side of things. And you know, based on Friday's close, after announcement of the transaction, the proposed market cap will be around about 160 million, with about 28 million in the treasury at the moment. And the new company is going to take the name Thesis Gold and trading symbol TAU, and it will be, the board and management team will be comprised of myself as CEO, Ian Harris as a Chief Operating Officer, and Sean Major is the CFO. And the board will be made up of a mixture of both Thesis, current Thesis board and Benchmark board. From Thesis will be myself, Nick Stadjahar and Thomas Mumford. And on the Benchmark side, it will be Keith Peck, John Williamson as chairman, Jody Shimkus and Peter Gundy. Great.
And what was the rationale behind the merger?
The rationale was, I mean, really comes down to four things, I think. Firstly, scale. You know, a lot of people in our industry have been talking about the need for consolidation, and I completely agree with that. one of the key elements of that really makes a difference to me, I think, is the scale. And the combination of these two companies really going to create a leading precious metals development and exploration company with a fantastic building block with benchmarks 3.5 million ounces. What Ranch brings to that is very near surface high grade mineralization and a lot of blue sky and those exploration targets that we have. Then the second thing, I think, is really the accelerated growth. We've got a very catalyst-rich next 12 to 15 months planned for the company, where we will be, phase one essentially is going to kick off in about 3 weeks, where we're planning to do about 50,000 meters of drilling on the projects. 20,000 meters of that will be on the Lawyers project, and then 30,000 meters on the Ranch project. As that data comes in, the drill results come in, we will be updating our models and looking to put out a combined resource encompassing both projects, probably going to be late Q1, early Q2 next year. And then the third piece of that really is an updated PEA, and that will basically be going in tandem with the work that we're doing on the resource, so that by about Q3 2024, we have a completely combined new PEA for encompassing both projects, the high-grade material at Ranch, plus underground ounces from the Lawyers project as well. And then thirdly, I think the other key point really is the team. The team that we've assembled here, fantastic team. I've got a lot of support from the board and management team, with collectively a very good track record of success, from taking projects from early stage through to production, capital markets, M&A. So I think we're very well positioned in terms of the team to really execute and drive this project forward to the potential we think it has. And then the fourth thing really is our vision. And that's going to come a lot from the accelerated growth and the plan that we have for that 12 to 15 months. The key part of that really is taking two really good projects, and creating one world-class project that I think is going to be demonstrated once we get that new PEA out. People are going to really see how materially improved the economics are from Benchmark's existing PEA.
Great. Well, it sounds very exciting news and exciting times ahead for you guys. So we look forward to hearing more from you soon. And thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much for having me.